Good morning, everybody. This is Daphne. I want to say welcome to another Stitch with Me. Today is Wednesday. Nope, sorry. It's Tuesday, February 12th. If you can hear the little heater I have going in the background, we are in a very, very cold snap down here. It's really cold down here, single digits, and that is not a very common occurrence down here in Arkansas. It's a little chilly, so we're just gonna do a little stitching on my Scent of Old Roses, and do some little questions. I'm just working on the purple here. The purple is part of her dress, and I just figured it was a good time to do a little stitching, a little chatting with you all, and I just hope that everybody is staying warm. If you're in a cold part of the world, if you're in the warm part of the world, I hope you're staying cool. We have the sun shining today here, but in a few hours it's going to turn again to some more snow and ice mix. But after that it's supposed to go back up into what normal temperatures for this time of year, which will be nice because we can melt the snow and, you know, everybody that doesn't have their power can get their power back, and people that don't have running water can have running water back. Thankfully, we have running water. We just have hot running water. We don't have cold running water. But that's okay. We've got plenty of bottled water. If we need to, we can go out and take some snow, melt the snow. We used to do that a lot of times when I lived up north. We would end up taking the snow and melting it, you know, to brush teeth and things like that, because up where I lived, my parents had a well, and when the power would go out, there was no running water, because the well had no electricity to power it. So that was always fun, you know, having to fill the bathtub with water beforehand to flush the toilets. But, you know, do what you gotta do. But people down here don't know what to do in this type of weather. We're just hunkered down, staying inside, staying warm, keeping the animals warm. Thankfully, we have not lost power, which is nice. There were talks of doing rolling blackouts in Arkansas, because it's so cold and everybody's heat is trying to compensate and keep everybody warm, but we didn't have it. And I know people in Texas have been dealing with no power at all since like 2 a.m. yesterday, and the low at one point was 0 degrees, so that's really cold for down here. So, like I said, hope everybody's staying warm and having a great February. And let's see, so I'm going to answer some more tag questions, continuing the questions from the last Stitch with Me, from the one that I found online. So this first question is, are you a morning person or a night person? I don't know if I answered that one or not, but I am a morning person. I get up with chickens, I'm up with the birds, and I am in bed quite early. So, yeah. Definitely a morning person. I mean, if I need to stay awake, I will stay awake. That's not a problem at all at night. But I am definitely a morning person. And then, am I afraid of the dark? No. If I was afraid of the dark, I would have a big problem, because where I currently live, once the sun has gone away, there is no lights around. So it's dark. It's nice because when it's a clear night and there's stars in the sky, we can go out and see the stars and not have the city lights hindering the view, which is great to go look out at the stars. I'm just looking down at my pattern here. Make sure I'm going in the right spot. And another question, am I an extrovert or an introvert? I like to stay to myself until I get to know you. I am a homebody, but if I'm told not to go somewhere, then it's like, hey, I want to go somewhere. I want to get out. I want to do this. I want to do that. But if I had a choice in the matter, then I would stay home. But I think a lot of people are that way. If they're told to stay home, then they just want to go and do something. But I know that right now, with what's going on, that it's not safe to go anywhere, and that's why they're telling people to stay home. And that's okay. You know, I need to think of other people. I need to think of myself. Think of just everybody in general. And like I said, I don't go anywhere anyway. I would much prefer to stay home and cross-stitch my little heart away. But once I get to know you, I come out of my shell and have fun. Am I left-handed or right-handed? I am right-handed. The only two people in my whole family, my immediate family, out of my sister, my nieces, nephews, and my mom and dad, the only two people that are left-handed. One was my mother, and the other is my oldest niece. Everybody else in the family is right-handed. And I believe I'm not sure if my oldest great niece is left or right, or my great nephew is left or right. And the baby, my little baby great niece, she's still too little to determine. But yeah, everybody in the family is right-handed except for my mom and my oldest niece. Those are the only two that are left-handed. Am I more of a tidy person or a messy person? I like to have things in its place. I need to know where things are, so that I can find them. And if something gets put in a different place, it takes me a long time to find where it was, because it wasn't in the place where I put it last. There's an example. This was quite a few years ago. I had a toddler, infant, I think they were infants, on the older side of infants, classroom, and I had set up the diapers in their little bins with the covers, underneath the changing table with their wipes, so it was easy access. And one of the other co-teachers that came into work with me this one particular day decided that she wanted to put them in alphabetical order. And she went and talked to the director, and the director okayed it and said, yep, that's fine, no problem, go ahead and do it. And after she did that, and I went to go change a diaper, it took me a few minutes of just standing there, not a few minutes, a couple seconds, because I was used to going to this, whatever child it was, I knew exactly where their diapers were, and I knew, okay, I need to go right here to this spot and get this child's diaper. Well, the diaper wasn't there, because she'd put it in alphabetical order. So I just stood there with a child on my hip, needing a diaper change, and I just looked at her and I said, it's going to take me a little bit to get used to this. And it did take me a little bit to get used to it, but I just need to know where things are, so that I can find them in a timely manner and in a timely fashion. Are you ticklish? Yes, I am. And my boyfriend knows not to touch my feet. Because if anybody touches my feet, I am likely to kick them. My mother was the same way. Our feet are extremely ticklish. So much so that I don't believe that I would ever be able to get a pedicure because of that fact. I just need to get more of the purple. I believe it's this color. But yeah, so no pedicures for me. Where is that number? 3746. So it's not that one. 3746. There we go. I got the right purple this time. So yeah, it's not a good thing for me. You don't want to end up kicking the manicurist in the face on accident. So yeah, we're not even going to attempt to do that. I just would feel horrible if something were to happen because they just grabbed the wrong and I just kicked them. That would just not be good. And I don't want to do that to anybody. So we will just stick with not getting pedicures, which is fine. And can I ice skate? Yes, I can. I haven't done it for years. For years. My hometown used to have an ice skating rink that they would open up every winter. And we would go and ice skate a little bit there. Sometimes we would try to make a little ice rink out in our yard so that we could do a little skating in the yard as well. Sometimes when it got thick enough, we would go ice skating on the little pond that was before our house. It was fun. Clear off the snow and off you go. And what else? Coffee or tea? I'm definitely not a coffee person at all. No coffee. I don't even like coffee flavored stuff. Give me iced tea, regular iced tea or some hot tea. No sweet tea. I know, I'm in the South and no sweet tea. But what can you do, right? And cake, cookies, or donuts? How about all of the above? I like all of the above. Donuts in the morning, cookies and cake anytime. But if I had to, if you ask if I liked to, which one I like to cook, I'll give you cake and cookies. I've never tried doing donuts, to make donuts myself from scratch. But cake and cookies to bake, cake, cookies, and donuts to eat. I like pretty much any donut, but I really like Boston cream, and glazed, chocolate glazed. Like I said, pretty much any donut. Anything but coconut. Not a big coconut fan. Did you ever participate in a talent show? No. Nope. I don't even know if my school even did those things, to be honest. Not sure. And did you go to prom? Excuse me. Yes, I actually went to 3 proms. I went to because in my school, if you were a freshman or a sophomore and you got asked by a junior or a senior, excuse me, if you got asked by a junior or a senior when you were a freshman or a sophomore, you were able to go to the prom. You just could not go on your own if you were a sophomore or a freshman. So when I was a sophomore, the boy that I was dating at the time was a junior, so I got to go to his junior prom. And then when I was a junior, I got to go to my junior prom. And then when I was a senior, I got to go to my senior prom. And if I remember correctly, when the proms were being done, the senior class of that year was, oops, sorry, I'm trying to put a different light on and I just bumped the whole thing. There you go. So the class that was the junior class was the class that put on the prom for the senior class. So when I was a junior, my junior class put the prom on for the senior class. And I believe that was the way it was too when we were ready for our senior prom, that the junior class put the prom on for us. And it was fun to go and, just have fun with your friends, and enjoy and whatnot. So did I like school? Is the next question. Yes and no. I think most kids, if it's not something they're interested in, or if it wasn't something I was interested in, then no, I didn't want to. I wasn't all for it. I mean, I did my best, but it wasn't my greatest. But once I got to college and I started doing, and I went to school for my early education and teaching, because that's what I wanted to do, then that's when I really, enjoyed what I was doing, because it was something that I enjoyed doing. It wasn't, subjects weren't forced on me. I didn't have to take this. I didn't have to take that. Yes, I had to take an English and math and all those as well, but it wasn't like, here's your schedule, have fun every year, every semester. First semester it was given to us, but after that it was, here's what we suggest you take, here's what, is offered this time. So we got to pick and choose, which was nice. I think, going further into getting my bachelor's and my master's in 4 years, kind of would say that I did enjoy school. I don't know if anybody would have gone consecutively for 4 years to get 2 degrees after, and work for, working full time those 4 years as well. And get your degree at the same time. This one goes all the way across. Okay. So, yeah, it was, like I said, I enjoyed it if it was something that I was interested in. If it wasn't, I wasn't into it. I would still do my best, but it wouldn't be like the fullest grades and stuff that I would be able to get. Do I bite my nails? I don't bite my nails, but I will pick around the skin on my fingers. Yeah, of course, right in the middle of the stitch. There we go. I will do, like, I'll pick at my cuticles or the skin on the sides of my fingernails. And, make them bleed. There are times that I don't, but then there are times when I'm just nervous or anxious and and pick up my nails. Do I consider myself a good cook? I'd have to say okay cook. I think more of a baker would be what I would say I am, but I can cook, I can bake. I do it. I haven't had anybody say otherwise, and everybody that's eaten my food didn't get sick or anything. I've had several people comment on my baking that it's really good, and they enjoyed what I had cooked and baked for them. So I'll take that as a win, I guess, right? I mean, I like to cook and I like to bake, so I guess it's not a bad thing. Oops, right there. Do you enjoy DIY or crafts? Well, that's a silly question now, isn't it? Because if I didn't enjoy DIY or crafts, why would I be why would I be making videos on cross stitch and putting them up on FlossTube if I didn't like to craft? That's just so silly. Silly to think, like, I'm just gonna make videos on YouTube about crafts and DIY and not enjoy them. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there are people that, make videos or do whatever they're doing and not really enjoy it. But that just makes it seem unenjoyable, like work. Not that my work was ever unenjoyable. I always enjoyed my job. Working with the kids is the greatest thing to me. But I also want to sit and enjoy my crafts and enjoy that time, that relaxation, and all that as well. Put a stitch in the middle. But yeah, here we go. So I would have to say that I enjoy crafts and DIY. I started before the weather got cold to refinish an outdoor patio set that was gifted to us from our friends when they moved, and I got one panel done. I sanded it down, took all the old paint off, made it look brand new without the paint, and then I got one coat of white paint on it. Now it's just a little too cold to be doing that outside, but once it warms back up again, I will be doing that again outside. And we'll see how that goes. Do I forgive easy? I'll forgive you, but it'll take me a while to really put what was done in the past. It's that saying, it's easy to forgive and forget. For some people, yeah, that might be true, but for me, I'll forgive you, but I will never forget what you did. And it'll, I'll always be thinking, all right, when is this going to happen again? Is this person, telling me the truth? Is this person just doing this to get, back to the spot where we were before the troubles happened? But yeah, you break the trust in any way, it's going to take a while to build that trust back up. It's just things that have happened to me in previous relationships is why I am that way, and it is what it is, and I'm upfront with people about it if I'm in a relationship with that person. That person is aware, and I'll be like, hey, listen, this thing happened to me, and it's something that I don't tolerate, and if it happens, then we will have to work it out and figure out what's going to go, what's the next step, and so forth. I've just, like I said, I've just learned from past relationships what I want and what I don't want, and learned how to speak up about said things that I don't want and I do want. Do I have any tattoos or piercings? I have one tattoo and one set of ear pierces. One ear pierce on each ear. Other than that, nope. Turn that one back on, and we'll turn this one off. Other than that, nope. And most people don't even know that I have the one tattoo that I do have, because it's in a cover-upable spot on my body. Whoa. The snow is melting off the roof and made all kinds of crazy noises. Sorry about that. The joys of it's getting warmer. The snow is melting. But let's make some noises on houses and make people crazy. So, I think this is, once I get this strand done, going to be it. I know it's a little shorter. But I'm getting a little chilly. My hands are getting cold. Get up and move around a little bit. Do I have any children? No. There are no children, unless you want to count the four-legged children as the four-legged critters as children, and the aquatic animals as children. If that's the case, then I will have 5. We've got a African pygmy hedgehog, and we've got a algae eater, we've got a little frog, and we've got 2 little fish. So if, like I said, if you count those as animals, as pets, as children, then yes. They're also our pets as well. And I believe in the past videos I've mentioned them before. Let's see, we got maybe one more question. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? Combination of both, maybe. Never really grew up around the mountains. We had the mountain lake right behind our house, so you could walk out our door and turn around and you could see the mountain. And I lived in the woods. But I do like going to the beach too, from time to time. It's not like I need to go every day to the beach. But, once in a while I would like to go to the beach. Once again, I'm in a state where, you could go to the lake and sit on the sand at the lake, but that's not really even a beach. When I think of a beach, I think of, like the ocean beach, with the salt water and that. There are no access to the ocean here unless you go to Louisiana. But that would be more than a day drive. It would be a couple days drive down just to go to the beach doesn't seem worth all the struggle to do that. And the one back where in New England, where I lived, we were on the innermost part of New Hampshire. So once again, it was a couple-hour drive to the beach, and a couple-hour drive back, if we ever did go to the beach, to the ocean beach. But, you know, that's okay, that happens. You know? So, alright, my friends, this is going to be the last stitch for this Stitch With Me. I hope everybody enjoyed this little bit of a chit-chat session. I hope that you were able to get some stitching in yourself, and I hope that everybody has a great week and a great rest of the month, and we will see you again in the update video in the beginning of March. Alright, bye everyone.